Greetings, Redheads. Thank you for joining me in another episode of your favorite show, the one, the only Reds View. Of course, I am your gracious host, Jay Red. Before I begin this video, make sure you do me a favor, subscribe to youtube.com/Reds View, and also hit the alert button, the bell, for all the notifications for your favorite episodes of Reds View, and you'll get alerted when I go live and all that good stuff. For those who are watching on Facebook, I would appreciate it if you share. Feel free to join in on the conversation. If you're watching this on Twitter, don't be afraid to retweet. And as you can see below, make sure you donate to the Cash App. The Cash App is $JRED, JAYR3D. Now, of course, I'm missing my co-host, the most honorable, legendary DJ PM, but we'll have him probably on the next show. He has some stuff to do today, but I decided to go ahead and tap in on this topic because it seems to be a hot topic. I was talking about this on my Facebook yesterday, so everybody feel free to join on this particular topic because I think that this is important for the Black community. This is important for Black families. Talking about this whole situation I'm about to get into. But before we do that, RIP to Jerry Springer. Let me say RIP to Jerry Springer. He's passed away since we last aired Reds View. Also, I would say rest in P to Carolyn Bryant, the woman who basically started the civil rights movement with being responsible for the death of our brother Emmett Till. She passed away too. So, you know, like that's that. But Jerry Springer, legendary TV host. He's inspired even people like me. You know what I'm saying? Now he was shock value TV, but RIP to Jerry Springer. Had to get that out the way. RIP to Jerry Springer. But yeah. So like I said, man, $JAYR3D. Hopefully everybody is having a good Tuesday thus far. As you know, we always aim to do Reds View around 8:30-ish every Tuesday. So thank you everybody for joining me weekly. We're going to keep this gravy train going. So without any further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into this topic because I want to get this done before I see the Lakers beat up on the Warriors. But yeah, man, let's go ahead and get into it, Black folks. And keep in mind, this I'm talking about this for the Black community, but other race groups, I'm not excluding you, but if you want to chime in, you can. But really, I'm talking directly to my Black women, my Black men, because this topic, if you want viewership, if you want shares, if you want likes, if you want comments, you can always talk about Black people when it comes to dating in the dating world. So, as you're seeing this on YouTube, if you see the thumbnail, Steve Harvey keeps women single. That's right, I said it. Steve Harvey keeps women single. Now, let me be specific. Steve Harvey's dating advice keeps women single. I just didn't feel like writing all that right there. But Steve Harvey's dating advice keeps women single, particularly Black women single. Now, Steve Harvey is a world-renowned comedian, and eventually he transferred to being a relationship guru. The man has wrote different books, Think Like a Man, and it actually turned into a movie, Think Like a Man and Think Like a Man 2 and all that other stuff, right? So a lot of women go to him for advice about how to find men, how to pick men, when they're in relationships with men. What is a man supposed to be doing? What is a woman supposed to be doing? People talk about Steve Harvey and listen to him and seek his guidance and different stuff like that, right? However, Steve Harvey seems to what I call pander. Steve Harvey panders to women, particularly Black women. He makes a living off of pandering. The man makes a living off of that. He gets money from pandering to women. Now, some people call it simping, some people call it old age, whatever. But in this particular episode, we're going to talk about him appearing on Shannon Sharpe's podcast. Shannon Sharpe has a podcast called Club Shay Shay. I'm guessing Shay Shay, that's what they used to call him in NFL. That's his nickname. I don't know. But this has rattled social media, and I've chimed in on it a little bit. but I wanted to talk about it on the show today. So thank you everybody for joining me, and feel free to comment and join in on the conversation. So we're going to go straight to what was said. We're going to go straight to what was said, and I'm going to play a quick clip of it because I don't want to get the copyright strike. So listen to this.
See, these dudes kill me. That's what's wrong with this generation today. These young boys today, what do she bring to the table? The hell you mean, man? What do your ass bring to the table? You got a woman that can come to the table that can make another you. What else she need to slide up to the table with? What about your job? What happened to men who were supposed to be responsible? Do you know that it's our job to take care of a woman and some children, to have a family? That's our damn job. See, these dudes kill me. That's what's wrong with this generation.
All right, so y'all heard what he said. I'm going to play it one more time so people in the back can hear it. Let me play this again.
See, these dudes kill me. That's what's wrong with this generation today. These young boys today, what do she bring to the table? The hell you mean, man? What do your ass bring to the table? You got a woman that can come to the table that can make another you. What else she need to slide up to the table with? What about your job? What happened to men who were supposed to be responsible? Do you know that it's our job to take care of a woman and...
Okay. All right. So let me respond to that. All right. Now that's exactly what he said. Because when I talked about this on Facebook, women were like, "You're not understanding what he said. That's not what he said." All of that other stuff, right? This is what that man said, that women don't have to bring anything to the table because they can bear children. They can have children. This is what Steve Harvey said. Now, there are some things that I find very wrong in what he's saying. Now, let's go to this. Steve Harvey is 66 years old, which means that he will be considered a baby boomer, right? Now, baby boomers, like my parents, they're late baby boomers. They grew up at a time where a man goes to work, a woman could stay home, watch the kids, take care of the household, all of that, right? Now, once they got older, because both of my parents have always been working. From my mother has been a teacher since before I was born. My dad has always worked in business and always been a manager or, head staff, something like that, right? So with that being said, it transferred, like, with Generation X and then my generation, Generation Y, to where women started working more in the workforce in corporate America, and they just weren't teachers anymore. Like, women were having prominent roles in the workforce. So the first thing that people say is, okay, like they stick with the finances. They focus on the financing aspect of it, money, monetary stuff, bringing stuff to the table, the whole 50-50, going 50-50 with a man, all that stuff. Now, I'll say that bringing something to the table for a woman is not just about finances, but I'll get to that later. But let's stick with finances, right? Women today are progressive. I think I read something that said that Black women in particular earn the most degrees in America, and they're the fastest growing or fastest rising entrepreneurs, something like that, right? So there are a lot of women, not just Black women, but a lot of women in general who make more money. A lot of women make more money than men if you're talking about on the average earning level. So if we're talking about money, if the average earning Black man, I'm talking about Black people right now, earns like 44, 45K, and the average earning Black woman earns like 39, 40K. If y'all are together and y'all are a couple, married couple, y'all both will have to contribute. You both will have to contribute if you're average earners, right? Everybody isn't in the top earners, that bracket. Everybody is not a 6 figures or more earner. And 6 figures today with inflation and everything is going down and down, right? But when we're talking about Black men and Black women, men and women in general, like just average earners, the woman, if you want to live a certain type of lifestyle, you're not going to be able to survive off of just the man earning 40 to 50K and you staying at home. Now, it's possible. It is definitely possible for A man and a woman. If a man says, okay, I'll go to work, you don't have to do anything. You could be a stay-at-home mom. That is a possibility that can happen. However, you won't be able to obtain a certain type of lifestyle. You won't be able to travel like that. You won't be able to get the certain type of handbags that you want. You won't be able to eat at luxurious restaurants that you want to. You'll have to stick to a certain budget, right? But women in general, for him to say that a woman only has to provide your child, that is why she wouldn't have to bring anything to the table. That's absurd. And it sends a very, very bad message to women. A very bad message. Now, of course, I know women are going to agree with it because he's pandering to you. That's something that you want to hear. He's giving you something that you actually want to hear because it feels good to say, oh, all I got to do is show up to the table. And the fact that I can have children shows that I don't have to do anything else. The man is supposed to do everything. That's not realistic. Back during his era, like in my grandparents and stuff like that, that could happen. But nowadays, that's just not realistic. It's not realistic for a man in an average earners because we get it twisted. We think that these celebrities are our real lives. The celebrities are different from us. That's common sense. Like Steve Harvey is in a different tax bracket. His celeb friends are all in a different tax bracket. So when we're listening to that particular rhetoric from people like Steve Harvey, you have to take into account my lifestyle. I am an average person. I make average money. So I am going to be in a dating pool full of average earners. So women, if you want a man and you're an average earner, you could get somebody that makes a certain amount of money, higher than the average earner. But in this day and age, especially with inflation, bringing something to the table, if we're talking about money, you might have to pitch in. You might have to. You don't want to, but you might have to. So it's unrealistic. We're living in a different time. Women have better jobs than men nowadays. So if we're talking about the financial aspect of it, yes, you do have to bring something to the table if you want to obtain a certain type of lifestyle, if you're an average earner. Now, thing is, women who are not average earners, they tend to want a man who makes a certain amount of money higher than them, meaning if they make six figures, they want their man to make six figures or more. Okay. Now, with inflation, if both of y'all make six figures isn't like it was 20 years ago. You know what I'm saying? The dollar is, has risen. Well, like the prices have risen. You know what I'm saying? So it's not going to be the same. So if you want to obtain a certain type of lifestyle, now hear me out, you might have to contribute. But if you don't, then you'll have to settle with what is presented, which is if I'm making 50K and you want to be a stay-at-home mom, we can do that, but we won't be able to do exactly what you want to do. But his rhetoric is dangerous for these women to hear because that stops the progression of Black families. If women of today, modern women, go around and go based off of that particular rhetoric, then they won't find men. They will not find men because they're going to go through and thinking like, okay, I got to find a man that's going to take care of me. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to contribute to anything. I don't have to settle for a 50-50 relationship on the bills and all that other stuff. It's going to be very detrimental to a Black woman in the dating market. And that stops the progression of Black families. What is wrong with two people coming together, putting their incomes together to create a family? It's about building. What happened to the aspect of building? See, the thing is, we focus too much on love, which love is a big thing too, but we focus too much on love and how much this person makes and everything like that. We need to be focused on building with each other. You're an average earner, I'm an average earner. You're a top earner, I'm a top earner. If both of us decide to work, we put that money together and make double of what we could have. We could start our own business. We could do a lot. And it's not just about luxurious stuff like driving a Benz. driving a Beamer, you know what I'm saying, going on expensive trips, going to brunch every Saturday, and going to these exquisite places. What about putting our money together and our resources together to make sure that our children can start a business? What about that? Nobody wants to talk about that particular aspect of it. We get so caught up on how much we make, what women will put up with, what a man won't put up with, and all of that. And it just keeps us regressing, instead of progressing. So I get tired of women listening to this dude. Pretty much. Steve Harvey, you got to understand where he's at with it, man. This man gets paid. He makes money off of pandering to women, and pandering to women in the dating world gets them nowhere. Telling a woman what she wants to hear as far as dating advice can only get them so far. Now, women in general have the right to ask for whatever they want to ask for, but you have to look at the results from that. What if I want a man, if I say I only want a man to make a certain amount of money, the higher up you go, the lower your capabilities are, or the possibilities are of getting that man, because that's a small percentage of men who make that certain amount of money, you know? So I don't understand why we want to go that high if we know that the slim pickings of that. That doesn't make any sense. Everybody, please make sure that you subscribe to youtube.com/RedsView. Do that right now if you haven't already. But yeah, we getting heavy. We're talking about something heavy tonight. So, if you're talking about the financial aspect of it, yes, there are a lot of places, and I'm not going to say just 50-50, but putting your money together to obtain a certain type of lifestyle. And the thing is, what's interesting to me is that a lot of women will, like, if I say right now, I couldn't be in no marriage, I couldn't be in a relationship where my woman makes more money than me. The first thing that women will say is, what's wrong with you? Are you insecure about a woman making more money than you? What's wrong with you? Why are you so insecure about a woman making more money than you? And in the same breath, you ask them, how much would you want your man to make? They're going to say, oh, he got to make at least six figures. He got to make at least six figures. In the same breath. So what is it, ladies? Like, I could say that I don't want my woman to make more than me, but if I say that, you're going to call me an insecure man. But if you go to the average woman and you ask them in particular, how much do you want your man to make? How much would you prefer your mate to make? And they're going to give a high amount. That's exactly what they're going to do. So it's really interesting to look at it from that particular perspective. And my whole thing is, we have to be able to stop. It's okay to get advice, right? But it might be better to get advice from somebody who's not a celebrity, who's not above your tax bracket. Maybe listen to some advice from people within your tax bracket. That may work out better, because listening to Steve Harvey, all he's going to do is pander. All he's going to do is pander. But let's talk about something else, right? Like, why is it only about finances when we're talking about bringing something to the table? How come we're not talking about other stuff that a woman needs to bring to the table? Now, when I talked about this on Facebook, there were a couple of women who were saying, well, I got a boyfriend and all he expects me to do is be a good person. Be a good person, stay pretty, and he'll take care of everything else. Well, newsflash, that's bringing something to the table. Being a nice person, because this particular person said, okay, being his peace. He didn't say nothing about being his peace. Being his peace is you being a good person. That is a big contribution to, as far as bringing something to the table. See, don't get it twisted. Don't think that you can just show up and be pretty and that's all you got to do. Now, that may work for some guys, but the average guy is going to need you to bring something. And when you think about bringing something to the table, okay, what about if I'm making the money and I know I'm the head of the household? Who is going to operate the household while I'm out there making the money? Do you have any type of financial skills to be able to where, okay, boom, I'm making this money. You handle the bills. You handle, I'm delegating that to you. Okay. I'm making the money, but I have to be focused on making this money. What are your skills going to be like to hold the household together? And it's more than cooking and cleaning. I'm talking about what is this, what do we need for this? What do we need for that? That is a skill set that a lot of women who are stay-at-home moms, see, they think stay-at-home moms, it doesn't require any work. And that's not the case. And it's insane to say just because a woman can give you a child, that means that she don't have to do anything. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous because that child comes out. Somebody had said this uterus maneuverist. Shout out to him. But he was saying that I could take that baby out of her stomach, like, and that'll be that. But you have to be able to be more than that. You have to be able to contribute something. Everybody needs to bring something to the table for a marriage. You can't just sit on your ass and not do nothing. Kids are work. Are you worthy of being able to be a good mother? Are you able to be a good spouse to your husband? That is a skill set that you need to. Normally, how it's supposed to go is that you come from a married family, right? And then if you have friends that come from a married family and you get a lot of people to give you wisdom, a lot of women to give you wisdom, they transfer those skills to you because you see your mama doing it. You're a visual person. You see your mama doing it, and then you see how your dad operated, and then that's how it's supposed to work. Same with men. Men see how their father operated, see how their mother operated, and it's passed down. So you're able to keep going and going and going. But unfortunately, a lot of us, especially in the Black community, come from single parent households. We don't have any type of relationship skills because all we did was see mama and daddy argue. They weren't married. And all we knew was child support. And all we knew was seeing dad on the weekends, if that, or dad not being there at all. And you'd never seen your mother be a wife. So you don't have any wife skills. You know what I'm saying? And a man could not have husband skills, but society tells a man, you got to be a man. You have to be a man. See, when we go to work as men, we have to think about, okay, what am I going to keep doing in the future if I want to have a family, right? Women don't have to go to work thinking I'm going to pass this down to my kids. Now, of course, that's before she has kids. Now, if she's going to work and she has kids, of course, it's something, if I have a business or an establishment, I could pass that down to my children. But men have to think about that all the time. Since from birth, we're told, be a man. This is what a man does, blah, 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 blah. But I'm like what it seems to now is that women aren't being told this is how you should be. It's free. Do what you want to do. And just because you're a woman, you should be able to get anything that you want. All you got to do is the fact that you can have a child means that you can do the bare minimum. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to do nothing. And that's not the case. That is not the case at all, ladies. You have to be able to contribute something. And I'm not talking about just money. We get stuck on money. You have to have some type of relationship skills. Do you know how to hold a household down together if that man goes out and is working? Can you do that? Are you capable of holding that down? A man, if you want that man to pay for everything and take care of you, his focus is going to be about how do I keep doing that? I can't do all of this stuff at once. I can't be holding down the household, going to get the money, doing everything else, and you just sitting there just because you can have not unless he hires help. If he hires help for that or whatever, then that's different. But for the average earning people, you think in 2023, you don't have to contribute any type of money at all if you want to obtain a certain type of lifestyle. Now, keep in mind, if you do not care about that, then it is what it is. If you're okay with your man making 60, 70K and you want to be a stay-at-home mom, you can be that stay-at-home mom. But will you be able to get your hair done like you want to, get your nails done like you want to, go on these trips? Everybody likes to go out. Everybody likes to travel out the country. Everybody likes to go to exquisite restaurants. Will you be able to do that? No. But if you want to do that, what is wrong with contributing finances to the household? That's what the thing is now. We have an unrealistic mind state when it comes to dating nowadays. Now, let me get on the fellas. The fellas too. But the thing is with the fellas, we get told this all the time. And we have to be held accountable for our actions because we're men, we're tough. Now, the thing is, people can say all day, like, okay, a man should be able to express his feelings or whatever, like that. I agree to an extent, but also I know that a man is not supposed to be super emotional. We're supposed to think rationally. See, the thing is, when people think about masculinity, they think that masculinity means, oh, I got the biggest nuts in the room, and yeah, I'm a man. And they think about the image of, being loud and, making my presence known. No, that's not being masculine. Masculinity is thinking more logically. Like, if it's something going on in the room, I have to be strategic. I don't need to get loud right now. I'm supposed to sit back, use my mind, calculate what could happen. How can I fix this? See, if I walked around being all emotional and stuff, nothing would be done. You know what I'm saying? That's thinking emotionally. Thinking when you think emotionally, you think irrationally. You think irrationally, you're being impulsive and you make impulsive decisions. Thinking off impulse. Okay, let me do that because that's how I feel right now. But no, a man is supposed to, have you ever seen those mob movies, those mob boss movies? Do you ever see them be all mad and hyper, you know what I'm saying? And just, oh, I got to do this, I got to show my nuts. No, those mob bosses are very chill. They're very chill and very strategic, right? They don't have to raise their voices. They don't have to do none of that. They just, a man is supposed to be calculated. But anyway, that's getting off to another subject. But anyway, if you choose to listen to Steve Harvey, that is fine. But you're going to end up, where are the results? Where are the results of successful marriages and relationships or finding the man you want? Because what it seems to me is that you put money in this man's pockets and give him viewership because he makes you feel good. And life is not about feeling. Some of it is, some of it's not. Life is about strategy and how you can maneuver. You have to be able to maneuver. And telling a woman that all she has to do is show up to the table, and the fact that she can have children, she shouldn't have to do nothing else because that's exactly what he said. That is idiotic in 2023. It is straight up. So for all the women who agree with what Steve Harvey said, I mean, I don't. I hope, I hope that you would be able to find somebody, because I feel like it's somebody for everybody, but you have to apply yourself, and that's an unrealistic thought pattern to have if you're going to go into the dating world. But it's an issue with that. And see, this is the thing, man. People were bringing up the whole Kevin Samuels thing, right? Now I know a lot of women hated to hear Kevin Samuels talking points, hated to hear what he had to say about women and all that. But one thing is, his biggest demographic were women, particularly black women, because he was telling you stuff that you needed to hear opposed to what you wanted to hear. See, we gravitate towards the negativity. Back then, your grandma and your granddaddy, the older they got, the more the less patience that they had. Like, even now, when you get older, you have less patience for what you had back when you were younger. So you may be quick to spaz out, or you may quick to just say what's on your mind or call it like it is, opposed to sugarcoating it. That man wasn't sugarcoating anything. He was giving it to you rough, rugged, and raw, how it should be, because we're in a state of depression when it comes to black dating. How can that change? And I talk about this, but I always like to provide solutions. You need to listen, black women, listen to what black men say. Maybe if you sit back and listen to what they say, you'll be able to apply yourself instead of not holding yourself accountable and thinking how you want to think, opposed to how does that person feel. Listen to what the men are talking about. Now, I know a lot of men ain't shit. I know it. You know what I'm saying? I know men who ain't shit, but I also know men who are about their business, do what they need to do. They take care of their children. I don't have any male friends that don't take care of their children. I can proudly say that. But you have to be able to listen and hear it out. Because if we're telling you, you're listening to the wrong person when it comes to this. Because like I said, some women were saying like, I know what he meant, I understood what he meant. No, you didn't understand what he meant. You liked the way it made you feel because he was pandering to you. That's what you liked. He pandered to you, and since it came to you, heard it a certain type of way. But see, men, I'm a man. I knew what Steve Harvey was saying. It's just that his logic is outdated. That's it. His logic is outdated. Now, back during his era, yeah, the fact that a woman could have your child meant the world. It still means the world to us. You know what I'm saying? Because she can have another me. But it's unrealistic in 2023 to say that all a woman has to do is, I mean, she don't need to bring anything to the table because she can have your children. That's unrealistic, folks. And yeah, so that's what I feel about it. I know a lot of people were like, it's crazy, like on my Facebook, man. I put that Steve Harvey keeps women single, and of course it got like 200 comments from women who chose to, not listen to reason and just choose to go against it, go against the status and everything like that. So, it is what it is. I'm just looking for results. I want us to win. I want you to find your man. I want you to find your woman. I want the black race, because how we can get the black race better is families. How we can get families is listening to each other. We hear you all the time, black women. We hear you all the time, loud and clear. Now it's time to listen to us. And that may help you out. That may help you out. But anyway, didn't want to be on here for too long because I have to check out the Lakers game. I got a couple of things to do before the Lakers game come on. And it comes on so late. I don't know why they do it so late. But anyway, if you're watching this, which you'll be watching later, subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/ResView. Also, make sure that you donate to the Cash App right there. Feel free to comment, like, share, subscribe. It is what it is. Follow me on all social media platforms at JAYR3D. At JAYR3D. This is ResView. I'm signing out.